The BRICS New Development Bank will establish credit lines in local currencies, which will reduce transaction costs for small and medium-sized enterprises.
Iran proposed a new network for energy transportation, and Russia offered to set up a grain exchange too. The leaders of this expanded meeting have agreed to create a single payment mechanism to settle transactions with each other in their local currencies, a step towards the group's aim of breaking the dominance of the US dollar on global trade and a way for Russia to sidestep Western sanctions over its war with Ukraine.
Could gold become the new standard that topples the global dominance of the United States dollar? In today's video, we're diving into the gold rush spurred by BRICS nations and the game-changing developments from the recent BRICS summit in Kazan 2024. With BRICS nations collectively holding over 20% of the world's gold reserves, could a gold-backed currency become the weapon that reshapes the global financial order? Let's find out. And hey, do us a favor. If you're enjoying this kind of deep dive content, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay ahead of global events that could change everything. The BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are increasingly accumulating gold. Why? It's part of a grander strategy to hedge against the dominance of the United States dollar in global trade and finance. Did you know that Russia and China alone account for a staggering 74% of BRICS gold reserves? Collectively, these nations hold over 20% of the world's gold reserves, making gold a critical asset for challenging Western financial hegemony. But what's fueling this gold rush? It's all about creating economic independence and security for these emerging powers. At the recent BRICS summit in Kazan, gold was a hot topic. Leaders from BRICS nations discussed how they could reduce their reliance on the United States dollar and bolster their economies using gold.
Watching China stimulus is the other big one. I think China has been the big buyer of gold. The central bank stopped in May, officially anyway, but consumers there have been buying and buying gold because they didn't have alternatives. Real estate didn't work. The stock market didn't work until very recently. And I think if there are some real stimulus measures, people in China might take some of the money out of gold, put it into Chinese equities, and or put it into Chinese real estate again. And that may take away some of the tailwind, but it could be picked up by the Middle East, by American investors. It's a momentum trade at this point. But for right now, I'm going to stay cautious through the election.
This discussion alone has caused gold prices to surge, hitting record highs. Gold futures are soaring. Central banks in BRICS nations have ramped up their gold purchases, and this is driving a significant increase in global demand. Investors are speculating that BRICS may be preparing for something big. Perhaps even a new gold-backed currency? Could BRICS really create a currency backed by gold? And if they do, how will this affect global trade and the financial power of the United States? Rumors are swirling about a potential BRICS currency backed by gold. While no official announcement has been made, the sheer volume of gold held by these countries has stoked speculation. If a new currency emerges that is partially or fully backed by gold, it could fundamentally challenge the global dominance of the United States dollar. Think about it, countries like China and Russia, already holding significant gold reserves, could use this as leverage to trade without the dollar. Imagine a world where major economies trade in a gold-backed BRICS currency. The influence of the United States in global finance would shrink dramatically. What do you think? Is this possible, or just a pipe dream? The Global South is paying close attention. With new BRICS members like Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE joining the bloc, there's growing interest in alternatives to the United States dollar. These nations are looking for financial sovereignty, and a gold-backed BRICS currency could offer just that. For these nations, gold represents stability in a volatile world economy. And as BRICS expands its influence, the Global South could shift more of its trade and reserves away from the dollar and into gold-backed assets. This could be the beginning of a massive shift in global economic power, favoring emerging economies over traditional Western powers. From an investor's perspective, the BRICS gold rush is creating massive opportunities. With central banks from BRICS countries buying up gold faster than ever, prices are set to remain high. The idea of de-dollarization is already attracting investors to gold, which they see as a hedge against currency fluctuations. As more nations, especially within BRICS, look to reduce their dollar reserves, gold could be the key asset that secures financial stability. This means that for traders and investors, the gold rally may have only just begun. What do you think? Will gold continue to climb? Let us know in the comments below. So, where do we go from here? The BRICS Summit in Kazan 2024 has set the stage for big changes in the global financial landscape. While the path to de-dollarization isn't without its challenges, one thing is certain: gold is playing a central role. Will BRICS nations continue to stockpile gold, eventually unveiling a new currency? Will the Global South join in, tilting the scales away from the United States and Western financial dominance? These are the questions that could define the next decade. Whatever the future holds, gold will remain a critical piece in the global financial puzzle. Keep your eyes on BRICS, because they are just getting started. If you enjoyed this deep dive into gold and BRICS, do us a favor, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss any updates as we continue to track the rise of BRICS and the future of global finance. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.
This summit is not just about bringing countries closer together economically. The Indian Prime Minister and Chinese President saw each other for the first time in 5 years after a deadly military clash on the two countries' shared Himalayan border, a sign perhaps of the growing power of the BRICS Summit to change the global balance of power too.